Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining this edition of nGenius Quick Looks. My name is Sanjay Radia, Chief Solutions Architect at NetScout. Today, I'd like to show you how NetScout can help you understand your services by mapping out the flows between the various tiers within your application. How often have you needed to troubleshoot a problem and at the same time had to try and work out how the application hangs together? How often have you looked at documentation about your application and realized it's not up to date or accurate because things have changed? And finally, if you are considering data center transformation and cloud migration, do you fully understand how each and every component in your application ties together? Well, at the end of this session, you should hopefully be able to see how nGeniusOne can help answer those and many other questions. In the nGeniusOne dashboard, we can see our Oracle CRM service defined. We've configured each tier with the information we know. This allows us to see the health of each tier. At the end here, we also have a tile, which is an amalgamation of all of the other tiles. Doing this instructs nGeniusOne to stitch together the flows from each tier. Let's click on this arrow and launch into service dependency. nGeniusOne will now go off and stitch the flows of our underlying services and present us with a map of what it saw. Let's run through what we have on the screen here. At the top, we can see user communities in various cities. They are communicating to a layer of web servers. The web servers are talking to databases and authentication services. Each of the boxes has very useful information in them. Currently, we're looking at error information. In the top left, we see an orphan segment showing us errors. Let's remember those as we'll come back to them in a bit. We can also switch our metrics from errors to load to response time if we want. Now here's the exciting bit. You can see two of the layers here are represented with blue servers. This is the system's way of letting us know that I know about these because you told me about them. What I'd like to draw your attention to is this little blue D in the corner of this box. This D means dependency, and it's the system's way of informing you it's found something you didn't tell it about. We then have a flow to this green server. Let's expand that out. Here we see 3 DNS servers. So what nGeniusOne has told us is, I found some applications that your service depends on that you didn't inform me of. Whilst we're at this point, I'd like to give you a use case where this has been very useful. I was on site at a large retail bank in the UK on a Monday, and they were having intermittent issues with various applications. Their network operations team asked me to help, so I focused in on one application and opened the dependency map for it. When they saw this, they noticed a DNS server that should be on the dev network. After investigation, they found that a change had been made on the lab firewall, which punched a hole through to production, thus causing issues. This demonstrates the power of being able to visually see the layout of the application. Of course, we also have the ability to compare the current map to historical ones and to save the map for comparison after changes. This feature is extremely powerful to look for impact of migrations, server software upgrades, and looking for security issues. The map is also interactive. Let's drill into those errors we saw earlier with those orphan servers. We go there and right click on the link. It knows this is web traffic, so it presents us with an option to launch into a web service monitor. Once in, we can slice and dice our data as we want, and if you visit our other quick looks, you'll be able to see how we can use these monitors to troubleshoot. I hope this has been useful, and thank you for your time. If you'd like to see how we can help you discover your applications, or for a more detailed demonstration of nGeniusOne, please do get in touch.